Me having a whole Sunday off is rare because it's Mother's Day here in Britain. We don't have Mother's Day the same time of year as the western side of the Atlantic do, because we have a traditional day called Mothering Sunday on our calendar, which has become Mother's Day, which is different to the American Mother's Day. So, current MERP campaign, they are trying to get the scattered princes of Cardolan to work together to beat off a troll invasion that set in the 1640s of the Third Age, about 200 years after the Kinstrife. So Cardolan is a shell of its former self, just sort of city states with slightly dodgy. I mean, there's a couple of them have got a decent claim to kingship, but a lot of them are usurpers. A lot of them are really unsuitable for the job, and they really don't like each other. Beating off a troll, yes, beating off a troll. Yeah. But no, there's. I'm using a scenario from the Arnor book regarding a half troll called. He's simply known. Oh, what's simply known as the Warlord, and he's got a troll army that is invading southern Cardolan with. He's already destroyed Minas Girithlan, and he's also forced another of the Dunedain princes to. Oh, Joker's dropped out again. And he's also forced one of the other princes to retreat from his regular bastion. But so far, they've got the one on the edges of Breland, the Prince of Ostgorthad, on their side. They've got the Canatar of Theobad on their side, and they've got one of the princes of Arthedain on their side as well. So they're doing all right. But now they're heading off to find dwarfs. And they've just been through Ost in Gledhill, the old elven city. And now they're heading up towards the entrance to Moria. Hello, Squirrel. And in MERP, you've got to climb 7 waterfalls to reach the gates of Moria on the Sirannon, and they've climbed 2 of them. So 7, yes. They've climbed 2 of them so far. Is there a Gondorian garrison in Tharbad? No. There is a garrison of sorts, but Tharbad is in a bit of a shit state. But what they did in Tharbad is they basically took on the Thieves Guild and infiltrated the headquarters and caused it severe damage while getting the Canatar. What's his name? Oh, what's his name? I can never remember the leader of Tharbad's name, but they got him on their side, and he sent some troops in through the. Once they found the location, he sent some troops in through the front door, whereas the party got in through the back and sort of pincered all the rabble that was in there. It was a really, really good scrap. Really, really good scrap. And it saw one of the party's favourite NPCs sadly pass away. Oh, died in the battle. Poor Polg. Rough, Dunlending warrior. Just like to bash things with his club, really. Man of few words. Yeah, man of few words, man of fewer baths. But he became popular because He was just straightforward, wanted to hit things, and he was a genuine sort. So there you go. It was a critical what got him. One of Merp's infamous criticals properly got him. What's the other half? Well, he's half troll, half human. So either there was violence involved, or one of his parents had a funny fetish. Yeah. But yeah, the half troll race exists in. Oh, I mean, they could be sort of constructs in the same way, sort of, the half orcs were, the Uruk-hai. They're sort of seen as being some sort of Saruman concoction. That's possible. It's one way. It could be one way of looking at it, but no. Saruman's still on the good side, so he's not doing all that sort of dodgy business yet. They've met him. They met Saruman. They met Radagast as well. Right. Anyway, we're going to be playing this tonight. A little while since we played that book. Those are the character stats on the screen. I've already rolled them, so we could get off to a brisk-ish start. And I think we should get going. I'm just going to get myself a pencil. He says, with a sense of hope that he can find a pencil. There's my pencil things. A nicely sharpened one. So we have our rolls there. The idea when I rolled them was that the darkest one, the dark grey, was going to be skill, the light grey was going to be luck, and the two blue ones were going to be stamina. Right. Okay, you are a very brave West Highland Terrier. A very brave, presumptuous West Highland Terrier. I do wonder, though, no, I'm not going to go into that. My dog's a mixed breed as well. Though mine she's an easy mixed breed in the sense that her father was a Springer Spaniel and her mother was a Cocker Spaniel. So, and dogs are cool. Yes, all is well, Squirrel Hermit. All is well. I'm going to have another little Google of the various things that are on that list when I get a chance over the weekend when work stops, and might message you if there's something else that catches my eye. So, yeah. Husky, Malamute, and Chihuahua. I'm not a cat person. I don't mind. Look, I don't mind cats. I wouldn't own a cat. But I'm. Have I ever owned a big dog? I inherited a large-ish dog. When I met my wife, she'd got an 8-year-old dog. When we moved into a place, well, the dog was 8 when we moved into the house, so she'd have been sort of 6, maybe 7-ish when we sort of met and got together properly. And she was half German Shepherd and half. Well, okay, she was about 50% German Shepherd. We know no idea what the other 50% was. So she wasn't small, but we think there might have been a bit of terrier or collie elsewhere. So, so she was a large medium dog. about twice the size of my current dog.
My auntie used to have boys. My auntie used to have Borzois.
Strong dogs, they are, aren't they?
Yeah. Good luck again. Good luck again off the sofa if one's sitting on you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, our old dog, she was pretty strong. I mean, she lived till she was 15, so she was my dog for 7 years, but Becky's dog for the first 8 years. She was a good girl. She got grumpy in the last 18 months or so because of problems with the back legs, but that's normal for German Shepherds. We had to put all sorts of powders and stuff in her food to try and numb the pain that she was suffering with her back legs and whatever. But hey ho, that happens. You do your best. You do your best for your dogs. We tried our best to keep her comfortable, and then the day came when we started having to lift her up out of her bed because she couldn't stand up. She started wetting herself. And one time we lifted her up, let her out the back door to go out and do her business in the garden, and she just went clattering down the steps because her legs gave way. That's when we knew. That's when we knew we'd done all we could. And she just looked up at us with these sad eyes, as if to say, "I've had enough." So broke our hearts. But you've got to do the best for your animal. Give them a good, comfortable life. Give them lots of love. Give them lots of treats. Feed them well. Give them lots of fuss. But when the time comes, you've got to be honest with them. You've got to be fair. And yep, it's tough. It is tough. But dogs. Dogs are my favourite animals. Love them to bits. Absolutely love them to bits. With my little dog at the moment, she'll be 13 in a few months. She's not had anything wrong with her. She still bounces around. There's the spaniel in her. So fingers crossed, we've still got a few years left. So she's beautiful as well. You've not met her yet, have you, Joker?
No, I don't think no.
No, she's so soft. She's so soft.
That's the only problem when they're ill, but it's like they still try and they still feel like there's nothing wrong, but they are. But it's like yeah.
She's so soft. She's so loving. No, she's beautiful. My little Mystic. Right. Time to get a puppy. We probably will. I mean, when Sally passed away, we gave it. It was about 4 years. About 4 years before we got another dog. So we probably will, but we'll give it time. Just as you say, they become part of the family, and it doesn't. Does it feel right to fill the void straight away? It's one of those things. I mean, yeah.
How long have you had her?
Since she was 8 weeks old. We had her from the time that we could get her at the earliest possible.
Yeah, how many years ago was that?
Oh, she'll be 13 soon. So so nearly 13 years.
Good few years then.
Yeah. I still remember when we first got her. She was a little puppy. She was so cute. We went to buy her a bed, and it took us 2 hours to get around the shop. Everyone was stopping. Oh, look! Because she was so sweet looking. Yeah, she comes from a working dog line, so But she's a pretty dog, though. Squirrel Hermit. Squirrel Hermit. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You are most. I have just seen close up what your avatar is. You seen that, Joker?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. But yeah, we got her from a guy who did a bit of hunting. He had had two dogs, and he had a bit of an accident with them, and allowed them to have a litter. Oops. And he was a real trouble. His house was just filled with animals. He was a real animal person. The animals were his life, and it was obvious that that mum and dad were really, really well looked after dogs. Yep. Would I get a bulldog? I would. I don't think my wife would. My wife's not into bulldogs. We would probably get another spaniel. Whether we'd go for half Springer, half Cocker again, I don't know. But we'd probably stick with spaniels because they're good house dogs. They're friendly dogs. They're sociable dogs, and they're energetic, but at the right time. Best way to describe them. They're intelligent, and they're no trouble. No trouble. And I'd have a bulldog. I'd have a Staffy, a little Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Actually, I think they're beautiful. But my wife wouldn't. She's not into terriers. I mean, spaniels can be a bit crazy. I've met some grumpy Cavalier King Charleses in their day. But generally, they're friendly dogs. Okay. Enough talking about pups. We're going to get started. That's what we're playing tonight. The classic book. Well-thumbed copy. Look at that. It's a battered old copy. Is this my original copy from years ago? I think it might be. I'm not sure. Where did I get it from? I can't remember. I don't know if it's my original from years ago, whether I picked it up. Oh! Mercurius. he's brought the score level. Thank you, Mercurius. Cheers, chaps. Cheers, squirrels. Cheers, Mercurius. Very, very kind of the pair of you. Right, let's get started. Despite its name, Fang was an ordinary small town in the northern province of Chiang Mai, situated on the banks of the River Kok. There we go. Oh, there. It made a convenient stopover for river traders and passengers throughout most of the year. A few barges, rafts, and sometimes even a large sailboat could usually be found moored at Fang, but all that was long ago, before the creation of the Trial of Champions. Now, once a year, the river is crammed with boats as people arrive from hundreds of miles around, hoping to witness the breaking of an ancient tradition in Fang and see a victor in the Trial of Champions. Cock is spelled K-O-K. So, Cock. It's not C-O-C-K. On the 1st of May each year, warriors and heroes come to Fang to face the test of their lives. Survival is unlikely, yet many take the risk, for the prize is great, a purse of 10,000 gold pieces. And the freedom of Chiang Mai forever. However, to become a champion is no easy task. Some years ago, a powerful baron of Fang called Skumvit decided to bring attention to his town by creating the ultimate contest. With the help of the townspeople, he constructed a labyrinth deep in the hillside behind Fang, from which there was only one exit. The province is Chiang Mai, Chiangmai, and the river is the River Kok, Kok, and the town is called Fang. It could indeed have been cock, as in coq au vin, as in cockerel, chicken, my little chicken. The labyrinth was filled with all kinds of deadly tricks and traps and loathsome monsters. Succumvit had designed it in meticulous detail so that anybody hoping to face its challenge would have to use their wits as well as weapon skill. When he was finally satisfied that all was complete, he put his labyrinth to the test. He picked 10 of his finest guards, and fully armed, they marched into the labyrinth. They were never seen again. No, Svinfilke, no, it was not Bangkok. A city where you have to check downstairs if a woman is being friendly to you. If you know what. When he was finally satisfied that all was complete, he put his labyrinth to the test. Oh, I'd already done that. They were never seen again. The tale of the ill-fated guard soon spread throughout the land, and it was then that Succumvit announced the first trial of champions. Messengers and news sheets carried his challenge, 10,000 gold pieces, and the freedom of Chiang Mai forever to any person surviving the perils of the labyrinth of Fang. The first year, 17 brave warriors attempted the walk. I'm not explaining, Mercurius. As it later came to be known, not one reappeared. As the years passed and the trial of champions continued, it attracted more and more challengers and speculators. Fang prospered and would prepare itself months in advance for the spectacle it hosted each May. The town would be decorated, tents erected, dining halls built, musicians, dancers, fire eaters, illusionists, and every sort of entertainer hired. Where was I? There we are. And entries registered from hopeful individuals intent on making the walk, and its visitors in wild celebration. Everybody sang, drank, danced, and laughed until day broke on the 1st of May, when the town thronged to the gates of the labyrinth to watch the first challenger of the year step forward to face the trial of champions. Having seen one of Succumvit's challenges nailed to a tree, you decide that this year you will attempt the walk. For the last 5 years, you have been attracted to it, not for the rewards, but for the simple fact that nobody has ever yet emerged victorious from the labyrinth. You intend to make this the year in which a champion is crowned. Gathering up a few belongings, you set off immediately. 2 days' walk takes you west to the coast, where you enter the cursed Port Blacksand. Wasting no time in that city of thieves, you buy your passage on a small boat, sailing north to where the River Kok meets the sea. And from there, you take a raft upriver for 4 days until finally you arrive in Fang. The trial begins in 3 days' time, and the town is in an almost hysterical mood of excitement. You register your entry with the officials and are given a violet scarf to tie around your arm, informing everyone of your status. For 3 days you enjoy Fang's greatest hospitality and are treated like a demigod. During the long merriment you almost forget your purpose in Fang, but the evening before the trial, the magnitude of the task ahead begins to dominate your thoughts. Later you are taken to a special guest house and shown to your room. There's a splendid 4-poster bed with satin sheets to help you rest. But there is little time left for sleep. Just before dawn, a trumpet call awakens you from vivid dreams of flaming pits and giant black spiders. Minutes later, there is a knock on your door, and a man's voice rings out saying, "Your challenge begins soon. Please be ready to leave in 10 minutes. You climb out of bed, walk over to the window and open the shutters. Already people are thronging the streets, moving quietly through the morning mist, spectators on their way to the labyrinth, no doubt, hoping to find good vantage points from which to watch the competitors. You turn away and walk over to a wooden table, on which your trusty sword lies. You pick it up and cut the air with a mighty sweep, wondering what beasts its sharp edge may soon have to meet. Then you open the door into the corridor. A small man with slanted eyes greets you with a low bow as you emerge from your bedroom. "Please, follow me," he says. He turns to his left and quickly walks towards the stairs at the top of the corridor. Leaving your guest house, he darts down narrow alleyways between houses, and you have to walk quickly to keep up with him. Soon you come to a wide dirt road lined with cheering crowds. When they see your violet scarf, they cheer even louder and start showering you with flowers. The long shadows cast by the people in front of you shrink as the bright yellow sun rises higher in the morning sky. Standing there in front of the noisy and vibrant crowd, you feel strangely alone, aware of your coming ordeal. Suddenly, you feel a tug on your shirt and see your small guide eagerly beckoning you to follow him. Ahead, you see the looming hillside and the dark mouth of a tunnel disappearing into its inner depths. As you get closer, you notice two great stone pillars on either side of the tunnel entrance. The pillars are covered with ornate carvings, writhing serpents, demons, deities, each seeming to scream a silent warning to those who would pass beyond them. You see Baron Succumbit himself, standing by the entrance, waiting to greet the contenders in the Trial of Champions. You count 5 others standing proudly in line, their violet scarves displayed for all to see. There are 2 bare-chested barbarians dressed in furs. They stand completely motionless, legs straight and slightly apart, arms thrust forward to rest on the hilts of their long, double-headed battle axes. A sleek elven woman with golden hair and feline green eyes is adjusting the cross-belt of daggers wrapped around her leather tunic. Of the 2 remaining men, one is covered from head to foot in iron plate armor with a plumed helmet and a crested shield. The other is cloaked in black robes, only his dark... Only his dark eyes showing between the swathes of his black face scarves. Long knives, a wire garrote, and other silent death weapons hang from his belt. The 5 contenders acknowledge your arrival with almost imperceptible nods of the head, and you turn to face the exultant crowd for the last time. Suddenly a hush falls over the crowd as Baron Succumbit steps forward, holding 6 bamboo sticks. You draw one from the outstretched hand and read the word 5th. Then the trial begins. And we have some artwork.
Artwork?
Artwork, there we go. Let's zoom in a little bit closer so you can see the 2 barbarians. There's the assassinate. Where's the... I can't see the thief on there. Oh, the elf is there, hard to see. The knight is there. Okay. A bit hard to make out. The knight is first. He salutes the crowd before disappearing into the tunnel and is followed half an hour later by the elf. Next goes a barbarian, then the dark assassin. Now it is your turn to salute the crowd. Holding your violet scarf aloft, you take one final deep breath of cool, fresh air before turning to pass between the stone-pillared gateway into Succumbit's corridors of power to face unknown perils on the walk through the mighty Baron's death trap dungeon. I'm just checking how many provisions we start with. I think it's 10, isn't it? All the other books have been 10 so far, haven't they?
Yeah.
I'm going to make that assumption. Oh yeah, the backpack contains enough provisions for 10 meals. There we go. Perfect. We've got a potion of fortune, we have a sword, and we have leather armor. Oh, the decision's a good one. We're going to get 10,000 gold pieces. In AD&D, that'll take us from first level to 2,000. I mean, we're a fighter, clearly. So second level is 2,000. Third level is 4,000. Fourth level is 8,000. And level 4 hero. Well, no, it was in basic D&D. The title hero. That's perfect. Perfect. Not, but ignoring that rule about each adventure giving you one level of experience only. If you finish this, you deserve it. The clamour of the excited spectators gradually fades behind you as you venture deep into the gloom of the cavern tunnel. Large crystals hang from the tunnel roof at 20-metre intervals, radiating a soft light, just enough for you to see your way. As your eyes gradually become accustomed to the near darkness, you begin to see movement all around. Spiders and beetles crawling up and down the chiselled walls disappear quickly into cracks and crevices as they sense your approach. Rats and mice scurry along the floor ahead of you. Droplets of water drip into small pools with an eerie plopping sound, which echoes down the tunnel. The air is cold, moist, and damp. After walking slowly along the tunnel for about 5 minutes, you arrive at a stone table, standing against the wall to your left. On it there are 6 boxes, one of which has your name painted on it. Do we open the box or do we keep walking?
Well, it has our name on it.
It does, yes, it does. So you say open it.
As Des O'Connor used to say, open the box.
Box. So we've got 3 votes for box so far. It's not written in blood. Not written in blood. Hello, Mark's Genre Mixer. Four votes for opening the box. Anybody else? Feeling like a box frenzy. Which was the name of the first Pop Will Eat Itself album I got. Box Frenzy. Bit of a double entendre. Given that one of the songs on it was called Beaver Patrol, I went, my favourite way of getting kicks, I go downtown and hustle chicks. Beaver Patrol. Yes. And that song contained the line, Go Box Frenzy. Very, very smutty. Alan Moore knows the score. Exactly, are you Dilator? Are you lurking, are you Dilator? Rich girl, can you dig it? I saw the Poppies live 4 times with the original lineup and once with the current lineup. The current lineup is crap, in my opinion. The best gig I saw them play was the 2005 Homecoming tour. I was there on the second night that they played in Birmingham at the Academy in 2005. It was the original lineup and they were on fire. They were absolutely on fire. And for those who don't know, the lead singer of Pop Will Eat Itself is now probably Britain's most highly respected film score composer. Which, if you hear his work with Pop Will Eat Itself, you will not believe. But he is. He's incredibly respected. And very, very much sought after in the filmmaking industry. So, yeah, it's a bit good. Is Clint Mansell. just finished work. I finished work 4 hours ago. 6:30 my time. I finished work. But then, if you're east coast of the USA, then it'll be about 6:30 now, won't it? With 4 hours difference with the east coast of the USA at the moment, it'll be 5 hours after this weekend because our clocks do the summary thing. Right, so open the box. 10 to 270. Do you remember the first time I saw Populate Itself play? I think it was the Reading Festival in 1991. I'm sure it was. UK carer. Right, fair enough. So you work some dodgy hours. You work some long old hours, I guess. Fair play to you. Fair play.
Certainly not one for everybody.
It's not a career for everybody. No. It's underappreciated, underpaid.
Oh, definitely underappreciated.
Yeah. In fact, no. I'm trying to do something here, but no. I was trying to give you a free membership to say thank you for being a carer, but I don't think I can. I don't think I can choose who get. I don't think I can choose who gets memberships.
Not even as admin of the channel.
No, not even as admin of the channel. No. I'm just having a little look. See if there's anything I can do. No. I'm looking to see if there's a way I can actually donate memberships. No. Don't think there is. Oh well, I tried. Unless I spend money on my own channel, which means I'm effectively just giving money to YouTube. It's stupid how I can't just all right, okay. No problem. I will have a little look to see if there is a way I can do that. I'll have a little look. But not right now. Now is probably not the best time to do it. So we're opening the box. I've taken long enough, right? The lid of the box lifts off easily. Inside you find 2 gold pieces and a note written on a small piece of parchment addressed to you. After placing the gold in your pocket, you read the message, which says, "Well done. At least you have the sense to stop and take advantage of the token aid given to you. Now I can advise you that you will need to find and use several items if you hope to pass triumphantly through my dungeon. Signed, Succumvit." Memorizing the advice on the note, you tear it into tiny pieces and continue north along the tunnel. Turn to 66. So we have 2 gold pieces. If this was old school D&D, that would be 2 XP. I'll go back to my StreamYard link. There we are. That's better. Why can't I see there? There we go. That's better. I can now see chat again. Okay. After walking down the tunnel for a few minutes, you come to a junction. A white arrow painted on one wall points west. On the floor, you can see wet footprints made by those who entered before you. It's hard to be sure, but it looks as though 3 of them followed the direction of the arrow, while 1 decided to go east. So, here we go. A choice. Go west or go east. How do you spell his name? Sukumvit. Succumvit. So, chat and Joker, west or east?
West.
What do I down is tonight? Is your thing
I don't know.
So whereabouts in the UK you're from, are you, Dilator? Are you close to me and this reprobate with me? Because we are sort of he lives within sort of 10 miles of me. Probably less than that, about 8 miles from me, I think.
Well, you said it's 20-minute drive. Yeah.
20-minute drive. You're in the west. Oh, you're saying go west.
Go west.
But other people who appear on the channel, I mean, we've got Iman, who's from Burnley. We've got Andy. Andy's from Poole. You're from Brighton. Okie dokie. South Coast. Sussex.
Many happy childhood seaside memories from Brighton.
Gingerbeard's from Hampshire. We have Ralph, who's from Glasgow. I mean, he's not strictly British, but the mighty Saxius is from Bristol. He lives in Bristol, but he's from Denmark. So yeah, we dotted all over, haven't we? We dotted all over. Right, so we've got... You voted West, did you, Joker?
I did.
So we've got 4 votes for West and nobody else has voted. So with 7 votes potentially to cast, it could change. I'll give people another 10, 20 seconds or so. Fact about Brighton for people who are not of a British persuasion. Brighton had the world's first nudist beach. Did you know that, Joker? Brighton had the world's first nudist beach. Everyone's going west. Everyone's saying west. Mark's saying west. Will Hermit's saying west. Okay, so it's go west, young man. $2.93. Very cheeky. Very, very saucy. Matron. Following the 3 sets of wet footprints along the west passage of the tunnel, you soon arrive at a junction. If you wish to continue west, following the 2 sets of footprints, turn to 137, or do we head north following the 3rd set of footprints? Don't you worry, Squirrel. You have your food. So continue west or go north now. Hello, Grim Squirrel. We mentioned nudist beaches, and Grim Squirrel arrives and she does silly things with symbols to look like boobies.
Lovely fried eggs.
Hopefully not fried eggs. Hopefully not.
Which normally what they get used for.
I'm not a fan of fried egg size. How have we gone to boobs? I blame RU Dilator for being from Brighton. That's what it is. Hello, Zatarok. Everybody behave. Mrs. Squirrel permitted in the house. We've got to be on
Well,
our
you
best
definitely
behaviour.
need a handful.
We don't need to be on our best behaviour for Grim Squirrel. I mean, she's as daft as the rest of us, but we've got to behave for Zatarok because otherwise Squirrel might get in trouble. Only joking. So 2 sets of footprints have gone west, 1 has gone north. We've got 2 votes each for west and north. What are you voting for, Joker? West or north?
I said no.
You said north, so we're at 3-2 for north. Anybody else wish to vote? Sphenicus, okay. Well, I've already counted you as saying north because you put is north there, and I just saw the word north there. So 3-3 with Jeb and 4-3 to north with Mark. So north is leading. Zatarok says north, 5-3 now. Pardon me. Fizzy pop. Makes me perp. You're going with the opposite choice of Joker. Okay. 5-4 with Coco. Now, there's lots of songs with Go West in them. There's a band called Go West who had hits with We Close Our Eyes and The King of Wishful Thinking. King of Wishful Thinking was used on Pretty Woman, I believe. There's also Go West. The Pet Shop Boys covered it. I don't know who did it originally. But also there's a song called Go West by The Cult, and that's the one that I know, and that's the one that I like. 5-4. Any more votes? You always think Pet Shop Boys. See, I think Cult because that's more my sort of music. Not the Cult when they became an out-and-out rock band, but before that, when they were sort of like goth rock. The albums Dreamtime and Love, I like those two. Village People, was it? Right, okay. I just know Village People for YMCA and In the Navy.
So. That's probably about the 2 that anybody knows them for.
Yep.
I literally don't know if any other songs they ever did.
No. Well, they were their 2 big hits over here, weren't they?
Well, I just basically put them down to not the one-hit wonders, but lucky enough to have 2.
Yeah. I mean, they could have had a hit. I mean, I was 8 years old when they were in the charts with that, 7 or 8 years old. So I don't remember all the hits from that era. But when I was that age, the music I tended to prefer Madness and the Specials and the Beat, that sort of stuff. So it already
can't go wrong with the Madness.
I know the song Macho Man. Was that?
That's the third one. Yes, that's the third one up there.
I can understand that being by the Village People for obvious reasons, but yeah. I know that song, so I didn't know it was them. Right.
Yeah. Cool.
5-4. North has won. Everyone's had a chance to vote. It's finished 5-4. 3-8-7. Ahead, you hear the thud of heavy footsteps approaching. Out of the gloom steps a large, primitive being dressed in animal hide and carrying a stone club. On seeing you, he grunts and spits on the floor, then raises his club and lumbers on towards you, looking anything but friendly. You draw your sword and prepare to fight the caveman. He's skill 7, stamina 7. Okay, so we're going to have the blue dice. He's going to be the other 2 dice. We're skill 12, so we're going to be all right here. So if we've got skill 12, we've got 18. He's skill 7, he's got 15. And we still win with that. Win that. And we win that. There we go. 4 rounds. It's bear. Run! The caveman is wearing a leather wristband with 4 small rat skulls hanging from it. Do we put it on our own wrist, or do we set off north? I like the Wild West era, but not so much for cowboys. It's more for I like reading about the history of the gunfighters, the outlaws, and that sort of thing. So, do we put this rat skull thing on our wrist, or do we just continue north? Oh, we have it done. Oh, cowgirls, yeah, they're fine. Oh, Daniel, there he is. Look at that. Look, caught in the act. Caught in the act. Yeah. Right, Spin. So we got a no and a yes. We got 1 vote for no, 1 vote for yes. Joker, yes or no?
Yes.
Daniel, yes or no?
I don't freaking know. Yes. Sorry. I'm looking blind, so we'll see.
You know what? I'm going to join you. I may have work in the morning, but I am going to join you. And I'm going to have a little spot, I think, of sortilege. I think it's only fair. I can't reach it from this chair. Come here.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, I fell asleep and just woke up, and I asked my wife what time it was.
Oh.
She told me, and I let out an expletive.
We did wonder.
Well, I had a medically induced nap yesterday, and I wasn't able to eat from Tuesday evening until yesterday evening. So I've been eating a lot and sleeping.
Yeah.
And then I had to go like 16 hours without drinking liquids and everything else. So yeah.
Yeah, you've got to get the hydration back in your body, haven't you? And after that.
Well, that and eating.
And eating, yes.
The guy asked me, he goes, "You're shaking, are you nervous?" I'm like, "No, I haven't eaten since Tuesday evening. I'm freaking hungry and severely dehydrated."
I was at work till 6:30 tonight, and my phone rang. It was my wife at 6:10. And she said on the phone, "We've decided we're going to have a Chinese takeaway tonight. We normally have one on a Saturday. What do you want?" Those words were heaven to my ears.
Oh, I love General Tso's chicken.
I had crispy king prawn, Kung Po style, with a side portion of vegetable chow mein.
There you go.
There we go.
I like Chinese. It don't matter what it is. But yeah.
And I ate about 2/3 of it and put the other third in a tub for my lunch at work tomorrow.
There you go. Quick and easy.
Yes. Yes.
And that's kind of like Italian food. It's always better the second day.
Oh,
Except it
anything,
needs to meld.
anything with a few herbs and spices in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it to brew overnight in the fridge. Yes.
Yep.
So most people have said put it on. So we're going to put on this bracelet. Put it on your own wrist. Turn to 336. Will we regret it? Meow, indeed. Meow.
Yeah.
Chili's always good day 2. Curry's always good in day 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chili. Lasagna is always better. Yeah.
you did a China.
Here's your Chinese right here. You want some? I'll get the sauce for you.
Did a Chinese food walking tour for 4 when you were in Bangkok. You did it alone. Oh, splendid. Okay. We're doing this contest. We're trying to survive, Andy. Right. The wristband was made and cursed by a hag. It slows down your reactions and dulls your senses. Reduce your skill by 4 points.
Oh.
That's bad. Don't do that again. You kick the tunnel wall in anger and stomp off north. Right. Remember that for next time. No rat bracelets. You see a backpack propped up against the tunnel wall. Wonder if it belongs to one of your rivals. Do we look inside the backpack or do we continue north?
Look inside.
Yeah.
No new maidens. No. I think Chinese is on the menu tonight and tomorrow, yes. Man who walks sideways through doorways going to Bangkok. I like that. I like that. Compared to those Confucius say things.
That sounds like in this probably around the similar area of time of Max Miller, somewhat probably.
What? Confucius?
No, I mean them kind of sayings.
Yeah. Confucius say, man who piss in wind piss back. That's an old one. No peeking.
Said the duck.
So at 5-2 at the moment for looking in the backpack. 2 say no. Anybody else want to vote? Step up. Cast your vote. Take responsibility.
Well, Saxius in chat.
No, he isn't. No. He's running. He's running heroic, isn't he?
Oh yes.
Ladies' underwear, not best thing, but next to it. But double T.
Oh, under it.
Are you dilators a fan of Max Miller? Are you dilator? Max Miller, the cheeky chappy on a bright zone.
You can't beat the red. You can't beat the blue book. That's where we all get bit.
There's a great Far Side cartoon that says something like Harry did get credit for his commitment to the game. Shows him an anvil in front of him and a hammer in his hand. Daniel. Oh, you're feeling generous tonight.
Yep.
You're feeling all soft-hearted.
I would never say that. Unless it comes to my pets, then yes. But yeah, I would never say that.
Thank you, Daniel. Very kind of you. Right. Looking in the backpack has won. $304. There's a single gold piece lying in the bottom of the backpack. As you reach for it, you suddenly feel a light tickling movement on the back of your hand. You withdraw your hand slowly, trying to control your mounting panic, and are horrified to see a black widow spider. Before you can shake it off, it sinks its poisonous fangs deep into your wrist. Lose 6 stamina points. I think we've gone the wrong way, haven't we, chaps? I really think we've gone the wrong way. If you are still alive, turn to 20. Yeah, we are still alive. I really think we are cursed. So west and then north is not the right thing to do. I really don't think so. Only your incredible strength could withstand this poisonous spider's bite. However, you're weakened and you notice your hand trembling as you pocket the gold piece. Also reduce your skill by 1 point. You curse the person who dropped the backpack and set off north again. We started off with skill 12, stamina 18. We're now on skill 7, stamina 12. We are absolutely screwed. Absolutely. Just another day in Australia. Yeah. Shake your shoes before you put your foot in. 279. Yeah, this run through this book is utterly cursed. So let's see how badly we can do. You arrive at a junction in the tunnel. A new branch leads west, but the wet footprints you have been following continue north. So you decide to keep following the footprints. That's when you know you've gone the wrong way. We've missed out something really important. You soon come to another junction in the tunnel. One branch leads east, but the wet footprints you have been following continue north, and you decide to follow their trail. Yes, we've definitely missed something. It's just taking us. It's just taking us on a merry dance now. The passage opens out into a wide cavern, which is darker but much drier. Ahead, you see the footprints gradually fade, then disappear. There's a large idol in the center of the cavern, standing approximately 6 meters high. It has jeweled eyes, each as big as your fist. There are 2 giant stuffed bird-like creatures standing on either side of the idol. Shall we climb the idol to take the jewels, or shall we walk through the cavern to the tunnel in the opposite wall?
Oh, I already got my spikes and rope out. We're gonna screw it up, like you said.
So, climb or leave, chaps.
Climb.
Climb. Daniel?
Yep, climbing.
Climbing. Climb or leave. Just simply answer climb or leave. Climb or leave. Hello, General Nut. Long time no see. How are you doing? Yes. It does look like a bit of Trampier, doesn't it? It does look like a bit of Trampier. What did the A stand for in his name? It was David A. Trampier. But what was the A short for? Does anybody know?
Abdominal.
Abdominal. artist.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
We got leave, leave, climb, climb, leave, leave. Leave, leave, climb, climb, climb. 2, 3. Leave, Arthur. Okay. We're currently on 6 climb, 5 leave. Right. Good knowledge for those who if it is Arthur, then good knowledge. Well done. Anything to do with D&D, though. I run a pub quiz on a Sunday night. Anything to do with D&D is far too niche for a British pub quiz. Oh, it's Alan. Okay. Oh, okay. I do get around it, though. I have asked questions about weapons that are featured in D&D.
Mm.
What sort of weapon is a Bector Corbat and things like that. That's been in quizzes before. And mythological creatures. I do plunder those quite a bit.
Yeah, that was the Orcish one.
Yeah. A family of seabirds and a vicious humanoid race from Tolkien. Yeah. What word sounds the same but is spelt differently for both of those? And the answer is orc. AUK for the seabird. ORC for the humanoid. Any more votes? We're at 6-5 for climb at the moment. Climb is just beating leave, mainly because the two here have both voted to climb. Chat are 5-4 towards leaving. Nutty's saying climb. Okay. That takes it to 7-5. I can't see leaving coming back from here. Even those 4 people in chat who haven't voted, I'm guessing they are lurkers or they're busy. So, probably, possibly both. So, we are climbing. 3-5-1. The idol is very smooth and will be difficult to climb. Do you have any rope? If you do not, turn to 186. We do not. We've missed rope. Slowly and carefully, you begin to climb the idol. You're about to grab hold of its large ear when suddenly your foot slips. Test your luck. Better roll 10 or lower to succeed on that. But that unfortunately drops our luck by 1 point. Jeb's busy fact checking. That's fine. That's fine. We are lucky, so 260. You just managed to grab the idol's earlobe and regain your footing. You scramble over its face and sit down on the bridge of its nose. You draw your sword and consider which jeweled eye to prize out first. Do we go left or do we go right? Left or right?
Right.
I'm right-handed, and since you said that we're going to screw this up anyhow, let's go left.
Okay. Left or right? Andy's in with an L. L for loss. Take the L on this character. I mean, I rolled really good stats. It's just that we've just had a bit of a horror time of it so far. 5-3 at the moment towards left. F's in chat for this character. That's right. Isn't that what the streamers say? F's in chat. I don't want to thank everyone for being very generous on this this stream so far. It's been the most donations I've had on a stream for a while. So thank you. All the money that I get from streams is now going into my Monzo account, which is effectively my Clericon fund. I have a separate bank account set up for that now. The reason I'm shilling for Monzo here because I was able to buy food and drink in Reykjavik Airport with a Monzo card and not be charged any extra fee. And I was able to use my Monzo card in Canada with no extra fee.
Cool.
Have the money in the account beforehand. So there we go. That is the plan. That is the plan. I take it that yay, General Nut, is it that you're planning to go to Clericon as well? Health permitting. So hopefully you'll be well enough. I always worry when you on your disappearing acts, Nutty, you see. You're one of the originals in my Discord and one of the originals on my streams. And when you disappear for 2 or 3 months, I mean, I know you're not well. I know you have health issues. I worry for you. I really do. I know. I haven't got a rally car fund anymore. I used to have, Jeb, 10, 15 years ago. The travel. The flight was about total of about 8 hours in the air. You with a couple of hours stop in Reykjavik on the way there and back. And then I had a 2-hour drive to Manchester Airport, and I had to be there 3 hours before the plane. And then it was about an hour from the airport in Toronto to Sean's place. So add that all together. 5 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours, plus faffing around getting through customs, probably 17, 18 hours in total. So, fun and games. Health has been rough. Well, it's going to be. That's the problem. That's the nature of what you've got, isn't it? It's one of them things. It's one of them things. It's shit. You reckon I'll be quicker in customs this time? Is that because I got through without any issue last time? He's low risk. On the way to Canada, I got checked thoroughly every single time. Everywhere I got grilled and searched and all sorts. On the way back, nothing.
No, they just wanted you gone.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they wanted me out of there. I tell you what, though, I don't know where I'm going to have my stop on the way there. I can't afford a direct flight, so there will be a stop somewhere. Do I do Reykjavik again? Probably not, because obviously you can't leave the airport. I'd love to see more of Iceland. It looked beautiful from the air. But I might try a stop in Dublin this time. All right. Okay. $14-hour drive from Toronto. So I'm Sven Filker. Are you East Coast USA then? I'm guessing that's my guess. You're sort of USA, sort of down the east time zone, or are you Quebec and beyond? That's the other way of thinking. Or if you're Canada, because I know Slan and Bear had about a 7 or 8 hour. It's about 7-hour drive, something like that, from Montreal.
Trying to think what it'd be for me.
Have you missed the action? Well, you've missed the characters. You've missed the characters. The characters' almost certain demise. We've learnt a few things not to do in this book. Nebraska. Okay, right in the middle of the US. Yeah. So you're talking 14-hour drive. You're talking about 800 miles, roughly 900 miles.
Yeah, he'd be. Yeah. Quite a ways further than me, that's for sure.
Yeah. I was going to say you've got no excuse, Daniel, but your excuse is you won't be allowed back into the USA again.
Yeah, that's what I got to look into. I'm not sure if I can get back in.
43-hour drive for Jeb. I'm guessing that's pretty much crossing the states. Are you
Well,
West Coast, Jeb, or Rockies sort of area?
Yeah.
Two and a half thousand miles, I'm guessing. So you're talking about crossing the states. I'm going to guess at California. So there's a lot of people live in California. An island off the west coast. Right, so even further. Not Hawaii. Oh, Canada. Okay. No problem. So basically you would have to cross the entirety of Canada, which is a big old place. Right, we're going left eye, 166. As you touch the emerald eye of the idol, you hear a creaking sound below you. Looking down, you are shocked to see the two stuffed birds taking flight. Their wings flap in jerky movements, but they are soon above you and look set to attack. Fight the flying guardians one at a time, but reduce your skill by 3 during this combat because of your restricted position. Okay. I think this is where we end because our skill is effectively now 4 for this combat. We are in deep doo-doos. So
Yeah, it's about 4.5 hours for me.
4.5 hours. Okay, so it's not too far. So I think we're going to go with lucky purple dice for us. And we're going to go for unlucky silver for them. Skill effectively down to 4, yeah. And they've got skill of 7 and skill of 8. We are stuffed. We're purple, they're silver. Yeah, that's a loss. 1 loss. 12-8 is a draw. Oh no, the first one's got skill 7. It's not a draw. We've taken 2 points of skill off it. Okay. That 11-8 is a draw. That's another loss. Okay, so we're down to 8 stamina. We're stuffed. Oh, we're well and truly stuffed. We're dead as the dodo. Oh, we're wrecked. Oh. Here's where we die.
We deaded.
We're dead. So, chat, everything we did in that attempt at the book forget it, because we did it wrong, right? Everything we did on that run through was wrong.
It ceased to be.
We ceased to be. What time is it? It's only 11:10. Right, okay. I'm going to rub out that attempt. I'm not going to bother rolling another character. We're just going to continue. Go back to the beginning. Well, Grimsquirrel, if you were driving, you'd drown. But if you were by plane, I've done. Is it further from UK to Australia than it is from Toronto to Australia?
Oh, it's definitely further to Australia. Yeah.
Because it's East Coast. I mean, if it was West Coast USA, it's probably not further.
Not
East Coast USA, yeah, I'm guessing it is further. Because I've done my longest ever trip, my longest ever journey without a sleep in it was Birmingham to London, London to Osaka, Osaka to Brisbane, Brisbane to Sydney.
wow.
I didn't sleep at any point. And there was a 6-hour wait at Osaka to board the flight to Brisbane. So if anyone wants to work out how long I was up for, Birmingham to Heathrow is about 2 hours. There'd have been about then customs didn't take so long back then. It was 1997, 7 or 8. So I'd have been there 2 hours before, so 4 hours.
Probably a day and a half.
London to Osaka was about 12 hours. That's 16. 6 hours awake in the airport, 22 hours. About 8 hours, or was it 9 hours, something like that, flight from Osaka to Brisbane. We're at 31 hours. 1 hour wait at Brisbane, 32 hours. 1 hour and a half flight from Brisbane to Sydney. Yeah, it took me about a day and a half. And then I got about 3 hours sleep, and then we went out on this stag do. So after about 3 hours sleep, I was drinking on the flight from Osaka to Brisbane, and got quite drunk. I got about 3 hours sleep, and then we went on a 16-hour stag do, and then I slept for a long time. I was young, I was youthful then, I could cope. Stupid in the extreme. Why no sleep? Well, I couldn't sleep on the flight from Heathrow to Osaka because I was sat in a 3 of seats with a kissing couple next to me for most of the way. They were kissing most of the way. So I couldn't rest. 6 hours, I didn't trust myself to sleep at Osaka airport. I was just wandering around the airport for 6 hours. And then on the flight from Osaka to Brisbane, it was a nearly empty plane. And so I sat at the back where you were allowed to smoke in those days. And I was sat with 2 Australian surfer types. And we just sat there smoking cigarettes and drinking beer for the entire 8 hours. So there you go. On the way back, I had an overnight stopover in Japan. So the way back was easier. Stopped over in Tokyo for about 16 hours, including the overnight one. The way back was more sensible. Even though the journey took longer, it didn't feel longer because of the break in the middle. Okay, so we'll go back to the beginning. We're going to open the box and take the 2 gold pieces. Yep,
Yeah.
that's sensible. That was 270. Turn to 66. Okay, then we came to a junction where I'll read this again. Lean uncomfortably close and ask, "Can I join in?" With that, do that laugh as well.
Yes, Sid James.
Pull the face. Can I join in, please? That's probably put me on a list somewhere. After walking down the tunnel for a few minutes, you come to a junction. A white arrow painted on one wall points west. On the floor, you can see wet footprints made by those who entered before you. It's hard to be sure, but it looks as though 3 of them went in the direction of the arrow, while 1 went east. So, at this junction, do we go west or east? Last time we went west and then north. Do this time we go west then west, or do we go east this time? Okay. So this first one. East or west?
East.
East. Okay, Daniel?
East.
East.
Since I don't have an inkling right now, yeah, I'll go east too. Sure.
Chat, east or west? You've effectively got 3 routes to choose from at the start of this. East or west north or west west. So I think it's going to be 50-50 whether we get the right one this time. Yeah, everyone's saying east, unsurprisingly. Okay. So if this is the wrong way, then we know you've got to go west and then west, but it don't matter. We're finding things out. One 119. Ahead, you can see a large obstruction on the tunnel floor, although it's too dark to make out exactly what it is. The wet footprints you have been following carry on towards the obstruction. Do we continue east, or do we go back to the junction? Continue east, or go back to the junction?
East.
Joker?
East.
East. Straw Piglet says east. Everyone's saying continue east. Okay. Oh, Sven Filker says bad feeling. Junction. Well, I think you're going to be overruled because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4,
West.
5, 6, 7. 7 for east, just you for back to the junction so far. It's mathematically possible that people choose west.
West.
It's 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a comeback better than the Patriots versus the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Daniel, you're meant to know that reference.
Yes, I do. And that's about the only time I ever rooted for the Patriots because I don't like them. But the team I root for is in the same division as the Falcons. So I wanted to see them lose.
Who do you root for then?
The New Orleans Saints.
Of course. You have said yes. And they weren't very... They started well this year, and then they had a load of injuries about week 3 or 4, and it all went horribly wrong. Is that right?
What, the Saints?
Yes.
Nah, they've been sucking ass for a couple years.
Their first 2 games last season were pretty good.
They was awesome. I actually had hope, and then
they got a load of injuries, and that's what it.
And they need a good quarterback. Once Drew Brees retired, they were screwed, and they can't figure it out. They have a good defense, good running backs and receivers. They just got to figure out. They're playing musical quarterbacks and can't figure it out.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, probably your most talented player is a gadget player who's not the best at any particular role, but he's
yeah, he's awesome, but they don't know what to do with him. He's a great athlete, but he's not any one thing.
No. And he's a nightmare in fantasy because you think you should pick him because you know he can have that game where he throws for the touchdown, he'll catch a touchdown, he'll be used as fullback and maybe run in a touchdown.
Oh, but yeah, he's had. I know last year in one game he had a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown all in one game.
He's a beast.
Oh yeah, and physically he's a monster too.
Absolutely. Coco's a Bears fan. Unlucky.
I feel bad. And I thought it was bad being a Saints fan.
It used to be bad being an Eagles fan. It's not at the moment, though. It's not
last
at the moment.
couple of years, though, they're kicking butt, taking names.
Yeah, and I was an Eagles fan since 1987. So there you go. I didn't know much about them then. I really started watching about 88, 89. Randall Cunningham, Reggie White, all that lot.
Imagine if Randall Cunningham got to play with today's rules, because back then you could beat up on the quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
now with as protected as the quarterbacks are, Randall Cunningham would be yeah.
He'd be like Lamar Jackson.
Oh, he'd be better. Lamar Jackson's an idiot. Randall Cunningham was smart.
Fair.
Lamar Jackson gets by on his physicality. Randall Cunningham was fast, accurate, and smart.
Because the Eagles back then didn't have a running game, apart from Cunningham. Hello, Iman. Hello. Right, we have chosen to continue east.
I agree too.
My daughter's here. I'll be back in a minute. My daughter stopped in after she got off work.
No, okay. Vinphil, I've just seen that comment actually. You're a Browns fan. I suppose somebody has to be. You see that the obstruction is a large brown boulder-like object. You touch it with your hand and are surprised to find that it is soft and spongy. If you wish to climb over it, do we climb over it or do we slice it open with our sword? So we have the option of cut or climb. Cut or climb.
Cut.
Cut from you. Cut or climb, chat. Hello. Cut from General Nut. The dude in the shed. Indeed. Iman is the dude. I don't know if he's in his shed at the moment. I can't see. But... Cut. It's a spongy thing in the corridor. I mean, Steve Young was an early running quarterback as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was one of the first early greats at doing that. Although now Archie Manning, he was a quarterback for the Saints in the 70s. He was Peyton and what's his name? The other Manning quarterback. He was their father.
Eli.
Archie was a great running back only because he had to be, because his offensive line really sucked and he was running for his life all the time.
The Saints were crap for years, weren't they?
What's that?
Was he? You say, who did he play for the Saints?
Yeah, he was.
Well, they were crap earlier.
They were total garbage, and he would have been amazing had he been on a good team. But that was way back before they traded everybody just because, Back then, if you got drafted or hired onto a team, you were stuck there. So, yeah.
Okay, everybody's saying cut the sponge. No, there's no option to go back to the junction now, Andy. No, it's sponge. Sponge. 215. We're cutting the sponge. I don't see this ending very well. We'll have another early death. Ay. Your sword easily pierces the thin outer casing of this giant spore ball. A thick brown cloud of spores bursts out of the ball and envelops you. Some of the spores stick to your skin and start to itch terribly.
Oh.
Great lumps come up on your face and arms, and your skin feels as if it's on fire. You lose 2 stamina points. It could be worse. Frantically scratching your itching lumps, you step over the now deflated spore ball and head east. Oh no! The tunnel makes a sudden turn to the left and heads north as far as you can see. The footprints you are following start to peter out as the tunnel becomes gradually drier. Soon you are beyond the dripping roof and the pools on the floor. You notice the air becoming hotter, and you find yourself panting even though you're walking quite slowly. In a small recess on the left-hand wall, you see a section of bamboo standing on its end. Lifting it down, you see it is filled with a clear liquid. Your throat is painfully dry and you feel a little dizzy from the heat in the tunnel. Do we drink the liquid, or do we not risk drinking the liquid? Do we continue north? Drink or no drink?
No drink.
No drink. Daniel, drink or no drink?
I'm saying no just because we don't know how long it's been there.
Short pivot says drink it.
Probably should, but...
We have a drink from Mark, a don't drink from Jeb, and a drink from Jean. So, waiting for chat to give their decision. I enjoyed that sortilege a little too much. It's not brown, is it? I thought it was clear. It's clear. It's not brown. It's not Guinness. Coco says no drink. Sven Filker. Daniel drinks everything. I guess if he doesn't, then no. There we go.
Here's to you.
He's learning, isn't he? He's learned. You D&Ding tomorrow, Daniel and Joker?
Yes. I think I have 3 games scheduled for tomorrow.
3? Oh, yeah, because...
the morning, afternoon. Yeah, the morning.
And then sure.
And then Axe. Yeah.
OSE, MERP, Axe, yes.
Yeah.
And you're doing OSE and MERP, Joker, aren't you? And I'm just doing MERP because I've got work. At the moment, No Drink is winning 6-3. Does anybody else wish to vote? Ooh, I'm going to have another tot of sortilege, I think. That'd be very nice. That'd be very most civilized. I'm making this last because I don't think booze has been doing me any good. I've had a few stomach wobbles in recent months, so I'm being quite gentle on what goes in my stomach. I'm not having as much spicy. Well, not as the spicy food I'm eating is a little milder than I was previously having. The best way to phrase it. When I have a pint in the pub at the moment, I'm having a 0 alcohol one. Just because I don't trust my stomach at the moment. It's a bit of a. I'm trying to be a bit careful, but I'm allowed to have a couple of shots on a Friday night, I think.
I understand that completely. That's why I had my nap yesterday. I know, buddy. I know.
Things I do enjoy. I enjoy having a few drinks. I don't drink to get silly anymore. I used to when I was younger. But if I was going to the pub now and have 3 or 4 pints, I'd be absolutely 3 or 4 pints of Guinness or a good ale or something. I'd just be happy. I'd be chill.
That's like me. Anytime I go out, I have 2 and then I go home.
Yeah.
I mainly go to see the old guys I know and then go home. I don't go out to get blotto.
I'll say, I don't know whether having this sort of leisure has condemned me to a day of twisted stomach pain tomorrow. I don't know. We'll find out. If I have no stomach pain tomorrow, then I'm pretty sure sortilege is fine. I'm hoping it's fine.
You're being a pain in my butt.
Okay, so no more votes. No drink has won. Yeah. $182. The temperature continues to rise and you find yourself dripping with sweat. As you struggle on, the heat intensifies until it feels like white heat and becomes so unbearable that you begin to pass out. Did we drink the liquid from the bamboo pipe? No. 242. I kept quiet then, but this isn't what I remember. You shake your head, trying desperately to stop yourself from blacking out, but the heat is too much for you, and you fall unconscious to the floor. Roll 2 dice. If the total is the same as or less than your skill, turn to 48. That is. Only your immense strength and grim determination keep you from falling unconscious to the floor. You grit your teeth and press on resolutely. Turn to 197. For the record, I know that the bamboo contains a heat resistance potion. So I kept quiet there. Mercifully, the temperature now starts to drop rapidly, and soon it feels almost cool again. On the left-hand side of the tunnel is a closed door. There's a small iron plate in it that might possibly slide open. What are we going to do? Are we going to try and open the door? Are we going to slide the iron plate? Or are we going to continue up the tunnel?
Ooh.
Open, plate, or tunnel?
Plate.
Joker.
Ta-da.
Tunnel. Open, plate, or tunnel? No, we didn't bring a water jug. No. Joker, you're being outvoted here.
What's new?
What's new, eh? Yeah. It's 6-1 at the moment for plate, with no one saying just open the door. I ordered myself a new monitor tonight. Do you want to see what
You've
I
not
ordered?
long had this one, have you?
No, this monitor is actually really old. This monitor is my daughter's old television from her room.
You mean you've actually ordered the wraparound one?
Oh yes.
Oh God, God help us.
I'm going to show you chaps what I've ordered.
I've had 3 monitors. Their name was Susan, Liz, and Deb.
Right.
Oh, it
There
wasn't
we
quite
go.
what I thought it was going to be, but yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
That's what I ordered tonight.
When you first said it, I thought it was actually going to be the half circle one that actually wrapped
No.
around you.
I can't afford a super ultra wide one.
That
This
would
one-
be sweet.
This one will be big. This one will be fine.
How big is that?
34-inch.
Oh, dude, I gotta get one of those.
And the price, they've come down in price brilliantly.
I saw the price. I'm like, heck, I could get that on my
Yeah.
paycheck spending money.
It's anyway. It was. I was looking at monitors recently, and I saw this one was 270 odd quid at that point, down from 300 and something, and I was like, that's good. I was expecting to see them £500-600 and have to look around for cheaper ones, so I can't afford 500-600 quid for a monitor. But when I saw that this had another price reduction to 256 in that spring deal for Amazon or whatever with free delivery, I'm like, I am having that.
Don't blame you.
180 hertz, which means I can put my frame rate in my racing game up to 180 without any problems. It's going to be wow. And also, I can then run streams with everything on one monitor rather than fanning about with 3 different monitors. I just have different portions of the monitor that I use for various things on the stream. There we go. The reviews are excellent. A couple of the review sites say it's the best budget monitor on the market. So the reviews are really good. I mean, yeah, all the reviews do say you've got to tweak things a little bit to get them right. But that's what you expect from a budget one, because it's classed as a budget monitor. The top monitors are like 900 quid, £1,000. I can't afford that sort of thing. No way. But when I saw that this was 250 odd, I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I put it on the credit card earlier. That gives me a month to put the money aside for it. Because this month there's not been a lot of money spare. We had to get Jake's car sorted.
Yeah. That's like when my stepson got married. That was 3 weeks ago now. That got expensive.
Yeah. Oh, of course, yeah.
Had to pay for 3 hotel rooms, gas for 2 cars. It's a 3.5-4 hour trip. And then fast food for 2 teenagers for 2 days.
That's going to be expensive. That's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
My son's got his driving test on Thursday, and he's inherited a car from his sister because she bought herself a car a year ago, 18 months ago. And we bought her first car. It wasn't really reliable enough for the amount of miles she was doing. So after working for a year, she bought herself a newer car. And so my son inherited her older one. It's barely been used for the last year, which means it has got a few little electrical gremlins creeping in.
Yeah.
And the engine light came on, which initially said there was a problem with the catalytic converter, so we had that done. And then the next code it came up with, it was the problem with an injector, so we had that done. And the engine light was still on. And it's been to 3 garages now who couldn't find a fault. So between them, they've worked out it's an electrical fault, as in a sensor that is It's probably a dirty sensor somewhere, but it takes so long to track down the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So we basically had an electrician disable disable the sensors on that, because there's obviously one not working.
I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee and I looked into it, and there were 3 years that they were manufactured that they all had the same issue, and the lights would on the interior of the car would stay on constantly. A friend and I spent 3 hours, maybe 4 hours one day, pulling each fuse separately and then in combinations, to the point where we pulled the fuse that ran every light for the inside of the vehicle. So we had no dashboard lights or no interior lights, because I wasn't going to pay somebody to look into it. And it's like, screw it, I don't need interior lights.
I mean, yeah, you pay what, 40 pounds an hour for a mechanic to search for for exactly where the wiring issue is that's causing this light to come on.
Yeah.
But and it's an engine light, it's an engine fault light, and the engine has been thoroughly tested, and the emissions are fine. There's no oil leaks, nothing like that. It's been thoroughly, we know there's nothing wrong with the engine. So it's obviously a sensor problem. So rather than pay an electrician for hours and hours and hours to try and root down the fault, we just paid for one to say, right, just turn it off.
What's the only problem with electric cars?
I'm going to apologize to any females who may be listening or participating, but and I know the guy's good because he's who screwed me over in my first divorce. He actually had a sign up in the bar that he used to frequent daily. It said, if it has tits or tires, you're going to have problems.
He's not wrong, is he? He's not wrong. Cheers, Jerry. Hello, Halakar. I mean, I'm not going to go on much longer because I've got work in the morning, and in fact, I'm going on for another 10 minutes. So let's crack on.
Yep.
Try to slide the iron plate. Turn to 156. But yeah, as I was saying, my son, he's taking his driving test, and you normally use your driving instructor's car for your test here, but his driving instructor's going to be on holiday for that week, so he can't use it. So he's having to use his own car.
Well, that's actually a benefit for him. He ought to be used to it.
But it's an automatic fail if your engine light is on.
Oh.
So we had to get that turned off. So, yeah.
Put a piece of electrical tape over the top of it so he can't see the light.
There's a central panel where it comes up with a warning. So that we have pulled the fuse out of that central panel, which means his radio doesn't work at the moment, and his sat nav doesn't work at the moment. But hey ho.
Yep.
The small plate slides open easily, and you find yourself peering into a room with a deep pit in the floor behind the door. On the opposite wall, there are 2 iron hooks, on one of which hangs a coil of rope. Do we open the door, jump over the pit, and take the rope, or do we continue north along the tunnel?
I'm saying tunnel.
Aye.
You're both going for tunnel. Tunnel or rope, chat? Tunnel or rope? When we do driving tests over here, it is just the examiner and the student in the car. Nobody else. You failed your first driver test for calling the vehicle a fucking Dodge piece of shit. Apparently that was lack of control of the emotions. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for rope. And 4 for tunnel so far. I failed my first drive. My first driving test was my worst ever display of driving I've ever done. I was just a bag of nerves, just completely screwed it up. My second test was perfect. Complete opposites. I've never driven worse than I did my first test. I've never driven better than I did in my second test. It's bizarre. Bizarre. Your mind hasn't changed. So we're at 4-4 at the moment. This is going to be the last choice we make tonight, chat. So,
Okay.
Yeah, there's a hazard awareness test. Yeah. My son's already passed that part of it. You take it separately. There's a hazard awareness and theory test. He's passed that. It's the
Just the practical to do.
Yeah. He failed his first practical.
I'd be surprised if he did it.
A lot of people do. Yeah. What did he do? He stalled the car. Well, he stalled the car in a dangerous place. I think that's what it was, and then sort of panicked a bit. You know, when you stall and you think, "What am I going to do?" Right?
Yeah.
Calm down, neutral. Okay, he didn't do it. He sort of panicked. So
first time you stall and first time driver, yeah.
Yeah. The hazard awareness test is you're shown a video, and you have to press when you see hazards. You can't preempt. You can't press too soon. You have to press when you see and react to hazards. So you're watching a video. You got to say, and you've got to say what the hazard is. Is it somebody walking between parked cars? Is it lights? Is it somebody about to pull out? That sort of thing. You've got to be like, bang, bang. There's a hazard. There's a hazard. There's a hazard. All the way through. And if you are out by a certain amount of time, by the end of the test, you fail. So you've got a bit of leeway, but so we're still at 4-4. Let's have these votes. Just a reminder of what the votes are. They are continue up the tunnel or go into this room with the pit and try and get the rope. Well, 4 votes for tunnel, 4 votes for rope. You failed because you were told to stop in the middle of the street and you pulled over instead. Failure to instructions. Yes. Yeah, most experienced drivers will fail several times. You click too soon for where they think a new driver would notice the hazard. I can fully understand that. The easiest test I ever took was my rally driving test. It's just a means of printing money.
Yeah.
You have to get a rally driver's license. It's nonsense. You have to basically, you can drive at 5 miles an hour around the rally course. As long as you don't hit anything, crash, you're fine. And then you get a multiple choice test, which is so easy. It's the most ridiculous test ever. And you've got to pay 150 odd, 200 odd quid. It's just a means of printing money.
Yes, there's 4 wheels on my wagon, I know. Yes.
Yeah. Svinthilka, I would say if you're a complete novice driver, then yes, it's a good idea to have that sort of test. But if you're an experienced driver, it's got to be calibrated right. I mean, if I was taking the driving test, I'd like to take it on a rally course and put the driving instructor next to me and say, so can I drive then? Afterwards, because after 7 years of being a rally driver, I feel I can drive better than the average driver.
Oh yeah.
I'm not good for I'm not good for a rally driver, but doing that sort of thing for 7 years does give you some ability to get a car slightly sideways under control. The thing about the awareness test is you actually have to actually be aware. The kids have to watch the video and they have to click where these hazards are. So yeah, there's one there and all that sort of thing. So they've got to look for themselves. Doesn't look like people want to vote. Come on, people. I want to go to bed tonight. Tunnel or rope. If you haven't yet voted, please focus and choose tunnel or choose rope. I am okay. There's a tunnel. There's a rope. My daughter was commuting 30 miles to work at rush hour within a few weeks of passing her driving test.
Well,
30 miles there, 30 miles back during rush hour on multiple motorways. And it was autumn, so it was dark, it was wet, it was, yeah. So I'm glad she had a thorough driving test beforehand because she needed it to do that. Right, has Jeb or General Nut already voted? Let's have a little look up here. Because sometimes people try and vote twice.
I would never do that.
No, both of them haven't voted. So we're 5-5. She was 18. She passed her driving test she failed her first driving test and then passed her second one. And it was about 2 months after her 18th birthday. And then, yeah, she passed in the August. She was 18 in the June. I can't remember if it was July or August she passed. And she started her apprenticeship in the September. See, we don't give out driving permits until the age of 17 here.
when we went down to my stepson's wedding, my daughter was driving. We're on the interstate, and she's doing 85, which would be about 130 km for you guys, I believe, somewhere around there. 2 feet away from 18-wheel semi trucks, and she's pitching out everybody else. She's like, "Get out of my way! You're a stupid idiot!" And she was right almost every time. She was very good. And she knew when to use the ponies, and she knew when to hit the brakes. So she did really good.
We got 3 votes for Tunnel in chat from Sven Filker, Grim Squirrel, and Jeb, but both Joker and Daniel voted for Tunnel, so that makes 5. So let's check Rope. I've got 5 tick marks down here. Straw Piglet says Rope. Andy says Rope. Halakar says Rope. Oh yeah, there are 6 votes for Rope. It's Rope then. We go for the Rope.
Uh-oh.
There we go. We go for the Rope. Right, so there we go. Thank you, Andy, for checking. There were 6 ropes. I had miscounted. I've only got 5 ticks down here because I usually tick them as they come in on chat. That's why I try and get you to say just one word as you answer, either rope or tunnel, because then I see it quickly tick, rather than, oh, I think we should head down the passageway, which doesn't say tunnel, so it just makes it easier for me. Anyway, 208. Next week, when we continue this book, we begin at 208. There we go. We'll find out if we die.
Sure we will.
I know you're role playing. It's just to make my life easier when it comes to tallying up the votes. So, yep, we've overrun by 10-15 minutes. It don't matter. We're talking about driving and all sorts. And I've had a little nip of something sweet and pleasant. Right, I do have to go to bed because I've got to be at work in the morning. So I'm going to say a quick thank you to Joker and to Dan. I hope your OSE game is good tomorrow afternoon. I will listen in if I can, but my shop was very busy today, so I don't know what's going to happen. Thank you, chat. I say chat tonight, you've been brilliant. You've been really chatty, highly entertaining for me. You've been very generous. Daniel, thank you. Straw Piglet, Mercurius, thank you for the membership donations. It's been always appreciated. So yeah, it's what I like to see. Just the point of streaming on a Friday night is for us nerds with similar interests to just be able to kick off our shoes, sit back, maybe have a drink, end the week, end the working week for most people, and just have a good chunter. The bot, I think something has disabled the bot. It hasn't worked for a few weeks, Halakar. Sorry, I need to check in. I've not seen the bot kick into life. I've not switched it off, but I'm wondering if the fact that I've not logged into it for a while to edit it has gone dormant. So I'm gonna have have to have a little look before next Wednesday to see if my night settings have died somehow. So I do apologize about the bot not working. Like and subscribe, millions. Indeed.
Okay. Thanks for running, John. Everybody have a good night. See a lot of you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep. See you all. Good night. Good night.